Hi there.
Hello everyone, welcome to another Flying Frog video. Here we have Carenado's new rendition or new addition to the Microsoft Flight Simulator, the PC-12. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get in, have a look at this PC-12 and just see if it is worth the $37.45 or 25 US dollars, 25 euro and around about 19 pounds. And I'm going to compare it a little bit with this one over here, which is the default TBM 930. So first things first, we're going to get in, have a look at the quality. Now it is Carenado, so realistically the quality is going to be fantastic as per usual from Carenado. However, one thing I have noticed, and I've had this now crash my sim on my Xbox 5 times this morning just by looking at different colors. So there is an issue here. Now I think that it's doing fairly well. It is being fairly heavy on the frame rates. So there is something within this aircraft that is making it a resource hungry beast. But let's have a look at the modelling. Now the modelling is fantastic. I love the way Carenado present their aircraft. The rivets, the screws, the panel lines all look fantastic. The way the plane presents is fantastic. I mean, look at this as a light globe. You know, that is really, really well done. So now we'll get it through here and we'll just have a look upstairs. And the underneath is fairly good. You know, not that we're ever going to fly from under here, but I just still like to... oh no, that's just the light reflecting off the chrome bars up there. There you go. I thought that might have been a light bleed through the top of the wing, but it's not. But I just like to get in and just see what type of work the developer has done, even though we don't fly our aircraft from here. It just gives us an idea on the quality as well, and the love that the developers put into it. And as we can see, we can read that label very clearly. Now, unfortunately I can't get in that close to the TBM, not at this point in time, but because someone else has just put in there. Brett Plays. So I need to thank you for him for leaving this TBM here for me to compare with the PC-12. Now, quality-wise between the two are very good. The Asobo aircraft or the Asobo default aircraft are excellent. People can't complain about that. So the modelling, the paintwork, the rivet lines, you know, it's just exceptional. So, and Carenado are equal in that respect. So what we're going to do is we just look at the physical differences between the two aircraft. Both are going to fly very similar, and I think both will have a very similar performance. So as we can see, with the TBM we get a 5-bladed prop, which is unique. And if we look at the tail, we get a standard tail. But with the PC-12, we get a 4-bladed prop and we have a T-tail. Now, I don't know the motors themselves, so I can't go into those too much. And realistically, I'm not going to, because I'm just going to go into how it performs within the sim. Now, with the Carenado, we get our usual things like safety cones, tags, engine covers, exhaust covers. There is a tow bar which is not connected at the moment, and we also have at the back there you can see a small external power supply. So we get that with our Carenado aircraft, but we don't get that with our default TBM. And so we can also have a look on the differences on the inside a little bit later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop on inside, and we'll take a look on the inside, and we'll go from there. Now, as we can see, for the usual cabin, it's all up to Carenado standard as per usual. Now, because I'm in drone mode at the moment, I'm not going to be able to click the table, but the table does click out, which you can see it highlighting there. And also too, we get light shades come down over the windows, which is all very good. And as you can tell, the modelling or the detail on the inside is up to Carenado standard. And the next one will be, we'll hop on into the cockpit. Okay, so here we are in the cockpit, and it's a little bit different to the TBM. TBM is a lot more larger screens, where this one has a little bit, it's a little bit more mixed. We got a little bit more of the standard dials with a few of our LCD screens. Now, with Carenado, as per usual, we get a fairly well detailed cockpit. I'm trying to spit it out here. The circuit breakers are not clickable, so they're not modelled, so they don't work. Now, I don't know the full depth of the systems of this particular aircraft. It does go a little bit deeper than what I know. It would take a little bit of time for me to learn the systems, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm just here to give you an idea on what this aircraft is offering for its price, and also whether or not to go out and purchase it when we've already got a default TBM 930, because in the end they're both very similar. Now, also too, another difference too between the TBM is we're looking down in the cabin. We can carry an extra 2 passengers, where the TBM is only 4 passengers. And also too, with the default Asobo TBM, the doors don't open, so we don't get any tags, wheel covers, wheel chocks, opening doors, and the like. Okay, but it is a default aircraft that we do get within the sim. Now, and also too, another one is this item here. With the TBM, we don't get a tablet. Now, we do get it here. Now, as you can see, I've got a few things open. Let's put up these ones here so we can get them out of our way. So again, the armrests, as you can see, do operate. Now, for those of you who are familiar with Carenado, with their tablet, it operates exactly the same as every other Carenado tablet. So we can select our static elements. So for those of you who don't know, your static elements are your tags, your engine covers, wheel chocks, and the safety cones as well. And we can also select our external power. I'm going to leave that connected at the moment, and this is where we connect on our tow bar, which we can do that one. We can click it on and click it off, which then models it in and or takes it out. Alright, we can have show our pilots and co-pilot. Our passenger door, which is already open, which we can open and close either by here, or we can actually go to the door and use the door to open and close it. Now, the cargo door, for some reason, if there is a cargo door on this one, doesn't work. I click on it and it doesn't work for me. So I don't know what the go is with that, whether it's modelled, not modelled, I don't know. So we'll go on to the next page. Where are we? Tab trim. I don't want tab trim. Go away. I love all these extra bits. Now we've got the ability to be able to put in, or for those on PC, if you've got it downloaded, the Garmin 750. But for us on Xbox, we can't, because we can't add that in. So none of this is relevant to us except for PC users currently. Maybe one day we may be able to do that. Maybe if the WASM works, or if it can work, or allow extra things to work in the background. So, and then we've got our usual starting options, whether we want cold, dark, ready to fly, so on and so forth. Right? And then we have a basic checklist. Now, I'm not going to go through a checklist, otherwise this would just take too damn long. Okay, so we can just ignore this trim bit. That's just the location of its reading on other items at the bottom below it. So if I try and move that out of the way, yeah, see, it's just my positioning and where the tablet is coming up. So let's just get that one there, and we can go over to the next page. And that's it. That's as far as we can go. So we don't really need that one at the moment, so we can just make that go away. Come on. Yeah, I've had this one before where it didn't want to leave. It loves me. Come on, tablet. Go away. Tablet, leave. Thank you. Right, now I'll reposition myself. So, what I'll do is I shall get this one started. As a matter of fact, I should have closed the door, but I can go through and close the damn door. Right, so we'll close the door while we're here. So like I said, you know, we've got the table here which comes out standard, and we've got then our blinds if we want to put them down. So our window shades, it says we're going to be taken off. We're going to get them to put their tables away. I can get the aircraft started, and then we'll close the door up. Now also too, we've got a little storm window here. Unusually, it doesn't open, so don't know why, but I suppose that they didn't model it in. Right, now let's get this one started. So we got, as soon as we're on external power, so we have that one there. So our batteries, I know, should be about 24.4 volts, so we are fully powered, and we do have our external power is actually on at the moment, so that could be the reason why our batteries are full. Let's move that one on over to battery. Let's turn that one off because we don't need it. Right, generator 2 on, generator 1 on. Okay, now then, generator on there. Right, we're better put the fuel on. Okay, that's the fuel valve. We get the fuel pump going. Put that one on, put that on auto. Ignition. Clear prop. Well, that one's winding up. Get the avionics on. And the inertial separator, which is there. And also then I'll get the lights happening as well. Right, where are we? That'll do. Nav lights, beacon, strobe, and we're going to want taxi lights. Right. Let's just get back into a proper seating position. And let's just get the door closed. Go back. Let's take off all of the external, and we don't need external power anymore, and we can close the passenger door, which there we go, she's closed. Rightio, and I don't know why I don't think a cargo door is probably modelled in this particular aircraft, so we don't have to worry about it. Now see I'm dead on that, and it just doesn't want to go away. It's clicking something underneath. There you go. So yeah, we're clicking something here when we do the tablets. Now I'm just going to do a quick flight today. Obviously Mr. Brett Plays hasn't moved his TBM out of the way, but not to worry. So now I won't be showing you all the liveries. I've had problems with this one. Trying to, like I usually do, try and do the screenshots of all the individual liveries. I think there's 10 liveries all up. Just varying colours and that, nothing super special at all. And I've had 5 crashes now, which is most unusual for a Carenado aircraft. So there is something going on with this aircraft, and I do believe that Carenado will actually get it fixed. Now this here, I won't be going into it. I don't know anything about it, but again, it'll be just another level of learning. So for everyone else that wants to learn that, by all means, you're quite welcome to. I'm just not going to have the time to go through it all. We've got our usual Garmin 530 Autopilot. Pretty well, that's most of the features. I do believe that the system's depth does go a little bit further than, say, like the TBM. But how much further, or how much you want to go into it, yeah, I don't know. But not to worry. So what I'll do is I'll get on and I'll taxi on up to the end of the runway, and we'll head on up for a fly. Here we have the cockpit of the TBM 930 as compared to the PC-12, and as you can see, that looks a more modern interior. we don't have the analog dials. Everything's all digital across the board with all our screens. But you can also see the similarities that are there with the systems itself. And also we've got our major startup things here. And also we can have a look in the cockpit, or it should say in the cabin. And as you can see, there's only seating for 4 people against 6, which is on the PC-12. But the modelling detail from Asobo is nice. You know, it's a little different to Carenado style, but I'm not here to pick on different styles. I'm just trying to point out the differences of a default aircraft that we already have in Sim against purchasing one. And I'm not slagging Carenado. I love Carenado's aircraft. So there we have that. And so I'll just continue on now with the PC-12 review. Now here's our night lighting. There's a few little different things we can do here. I think we can is that one there? No. So there's our flood lighting, so it would make things a little bit easier. Also too, our cabin lighting. I mean, that looks very nice down there, very effective with all of that, which is really good. Right, let's just so again, this is your light switch panel down here, and then we can alter our brightnesses with the knobs here to suit ourselves. Okay, so that's our nights. Oh yep, there's the panel up there. Looks really good, very easy to read. Right, so what I'll do now is I'll get ready for takeoff. Right, here we are at the end of the runway, ready for us to go. Now I will say the taxi behaviour, she runs away, so just be careful. She's really just scoots away. So what I'll be doing is my usual thing: takeoff, maneuverability, come back round, land, and give you my final thoughts. So let's get this one moving. As you can see, she just takes nothing to really get going. Now we've got a bit of a slight kick off to the left. Let's use the rudder. Just to help going. It does take a while. I can feel that the wind now is straightening the aircraft. I don't have to use as much rudder. Slightly pull back. Up the way she goes. Not a lot of noise. Landing gear up. And that's quite loud. Flaps up. Let's just drop back the throttle. Let's get some trimming happening. Fair bit of trimming involved. It's slow to react with the trim. There we go. We seem to have that. Okay. Now I don't know where the bings and bongs are for, but there you go. So I've just kicked back the throttle a little bit, kicked back the prop pitch, and just slowly got the trimming in and just letting her climb. She's quite a quiet thing inside. It'd be nice to know what all the bings and bongs are for, but I suppose if you get in and learn it more, fly it more, then yeah, you would know what they're all for. So let's hop on its side and have a look. Now we're just climbing. See that as we've gained a bit of pace, so we're dropping the trim down a little bit. And currently the airspeed's not high. My flaps are up, so we're just trying. So anyway, what are we at? We're at 3,500. So let's just check the maneuverability. Yeah, she's pretty good. Pretty nippy. So not too bad at all. So let's try and now bring her up. We'll get some height and we'll just go for a stall test. We'll see how quick she can climb. We're up now, we're at 3,000 feet per minute, 173 knots, 170, yeah, sitting around 173 knots. And we were over 1,000 feet a minute quite easily, so it's not too bad. Okay, we've got 4,000 feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend to do a landing. So I'm going to hop back on in, and I'm just going to let it stall and see what happens. So we'll kick back the throttle, the prop pitch, and just bleed off our speed. Yeah, she's climbing a little bit, which is fine. Right, kicked it all back. Yeah, I got the warnings that my throttle is down, and that's okay because I want it to do that. So let's pull back. There you go, we got the shaker, stall, warning, and it's just dropping the nose on full back, and that's all it's doing. It's dropping the nose, picking it back up. So yeah, I think the plane's actually doing that itself. So it's trying to, the systems are trying to stop the aircraft from stalling. So let's have a look on the outside of that. Again, let's just drop it back. What's our airspeed there? You get warnings. Just pull them back. 80 knots lower. And it's dropping the nose, recovering, dropping the nose. Alright, and that's it. Let's do it on our own. So I think the aircraft itself was recovering from that on its own. So I think it's got a safety system where it just drops the nose. Just drops the nose. So what I'll do is I'll just do some flying along. I'll get some outside shots. I'll head on back and I'll bring you back in when I'm lined up for the runway. Okay, there's our runway there at our 1 o'clock. So what we need to do is slow this baby down. If it's anything like the TBM, it does take a little bit to slow them down. So just get some trimming happening a little bit. Drop it down. What's our speed here? Not a problem. Go to first stage flaps. Lifts the nose. Let's drop our speed down. Let's see if I can butter this one. Now she doesn't have speed brakes as far as I'm aware. So, and I am way high. The landing gear is quite noisy, and yet you can't hear the flaps at all. Or there is a small noise for the flaps. It's quite well. The cabin is very well sound insulated at this point in time. I'm just trying to get this thing to slow down. Oh, I think I was way higher than I should have been. But that's okay. We're getting to our height now. Now currently I have the prop pitch completely off and the throttle completely off, and no warnings, full flaps, landing gear down, and it just seems to carry a bit of speed. Pulling back. There we go. Down. Not too bad. Now like I said though, she does tend to carry a bit of speed. Takes a little bit to slow her down. But she's not wandering all over the runway when you land, which is good. You can get that a lot with some other aircraft. As soon as you touch down, they would just want to dart off to the left or the right. Brakes are all good. We're pulling up now. I could have used reverses on this, and I know it would have slowed it up. Let's just see if it's... Oh, there we go. Yeah. So my controller has picked up on it, and they've stayed on. So yes, I could have used the reverses, the prop reverse to have done that. And there's someone in my parking spot, tree hugging hippies. So we'll just go on somewhere else, and I will give you my final thoughts on this aircraft and whether or not to purchase it or not. And I know by now, because I am a little bit late with the review, that a lot of you... Oh look, there's an aircraft there too. Jeepers, everyone's in my parking spots. What's going on? What are we having a fly-in? Alright. Well, I'm going to pull up next to the Neptune and give you my final thoughts. A little while for it to wind down. The Carenado PC-12, $37.45 on the Microsoft Flight Simulator Marketplace, $25 American, 25 euro, and about £19 sterling. Is it worth the $37.45 Australian? Yes, it is. It's up to Carenado's usual standard. Their modelling, their fit, their finish is excellent. There's no complaints there. However, the inside is great. The features that you offer with this aircraft is fantastic. But there is one issue, and that is the number of times I've had a crash to home screen with this aircraft. So, which says there is something going on inside this aircraft. There is something there. Now, whether or not it's the extra systems information that's in there, I don't know. But I've not had that with any other Carenado aircraft before. Now, the big question is, the quality-wise, yes, it is worthwhile in that respect. And I know that Carenado will fix that issue with the FPS hit that I know some other people have had. And I can see that this does have an SPF frames per second hit. So, and I believe that will be fixed. So once that's fixed, I don't have an issue. Would I fly this aircraft again? Not often. It's not one of those general aviation aircraft that really excites me. The TBM doesn't really excite me. And when comparing this PC-12 with a TBM, they are so much alike in what they do, their form. Okay, the PC-12 is a little bit bigger, carries a couple of more passengers, and there are just some minor differences between the two. Now, is there enough difference between the two to fork out $37? I don't think so. I think that there's enough in the default TBM to not even worry about forking out your $37 for this aircraft. I don't believe there's enough difference between the two. But that's not to take it away from Carenado with the quality of the work. The quality of the work is excellent. That's not what I'm on about. What I'm on about is it worthwhile forking out that extra money against something that we already get in the default sim? That, for everyone, is entirely up to you guys to decide. For me, no, it's not. Even though I have forked out the money, but I do this because of I'm doing a review. I don't think at the moment, but I don't know enough about it, that there's enough systems depth to say, yes, go ahead, and this aircraft is a must-have. I don't think this aircraft is a must-have. Not if you have the TBM 930. It is definitely not a must-have. It's a get it because you can add it to your hangar, by all means, and fly it instead of the TBM. They both fly very similar. They both sound very similar. They land very similar. They are very similar. And there's a reason for that. It's because they were made. These PC-12s were made to go against the TBM. And that's what the manufacturer did. It's called competition out there. So on that note, yeah, I think I've said enough. I don't think I'll fly this one all that much. I don't fly the TBM all that much. And I'm just hoping that maybe this is a different point of view in my review of pointing out the differences between the two aircraft. But yeah, on that note, please like, comment, subscribe. Join us on my Discord. The link will be in the description below. And please remember, on the first Tuesday of each month, I'll be doing a glider fly-in at 6 p.m. Western Australian time. That is +8 GMT. Everybody's welcome. You can jump into the my Discord and jump onto the voice channel. Hopefully it just won't get too busy and people can get a word in edgewise. Our first one will be, today's Monday the 5th of September, so it'll be actually tomorrow that we'll be doing this one, our fly-in. So, and hopefully it'll be an enjoyable time. And on that note, everyone, please stay safe.